Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's see what these tea leaves have to say. Hopefully you are doing well tonight, this afternoon, morning, whenever you're watching this. Okay, so let's look at the card. We have the Queen of Cups, one of my favorite cards. I like all of the water, the colors, the bird, the stork. It's a very pretty card. This is very much about the evolution of self, gaining inner knowledge, intuition, great depths of empathy and compassion. Just having a deeper understanding and relationship with that divine feminine and being able to navigate your emotions and interior world. Okay, so I want to look at some of these symbols. We obviously have this large one up here. It looks like a deer. You can see the head here, the horns. It looks like it's kind of jumping. Within this deer, there is an M or a W. Also kind of looks like an M there as well. So I feel that this is kind of that meeting of the sacred deer, a vision of the divine, of some sacred icon, manifestation of the guardian angel, of a totem animal. While you are in the wilderness or the forest, the spiritual forest, some say there are on our astral or interior planes a most ancient forest that we return to in times of great movement, transition. This is where you encounter intelligences, reflections, and symbols, archetypes like the sacred deer. The sacred deer can be breathtaking, completely leave you awestruck. It can also be very distressing to come face to face with something so large, have such an energy that is so overpowering. And it really is up to you. What do you do with that? How do you interact with this deer? How do you interact with this most spiritual moment? Okay. I feel that because we've pulled the Queen of Cups, you are in a place where your cup is filled. You are satiated. You are collecting. You are benefiting from the interior work that you have already done. You are having magical moments, sacred encounters. Things maybe seem very alive, that there's a lot of synchronicity happening, that there's more meaning in things than usual. And you know, to a certain degree, maybe some extra amount of magical thinking happening. Now, of course, magical thinking is sometimes tied to mental illness, and these are kind of superstitious thoughts that rule our mind when we are in kind of a compulsive or even delusional spell. And but in this use of the term, I am merely talking about the fact that we recognize the mystery in our reality, that we notice these kinds of patterns, that we partake in the divine, the cosmic consciousness, and that is, you know, basically it. So I think that this M or W has to do with a sacred name, maybe a sacred utterance, okay? Only you would know what that is. We all have kind of our own divinely inspired mantras, utterances, sacred names of deities and guardians and daemons and so on. So this might be revealed to you at some point if it has not been already. Okay, I want to look. Right in here, we have this boat with a little sail on it. And I get the instinct that you are kind of traveling with the currents. I feel that you are kind of, you have set sail from the last and going on to the next. With this fullness and this kind of holistic feeling that has arisen, I feel that you are kind of now feeling the call to help others, to kind of, you know, travel away from the place that you have felt comfortable and maybe widen your experience of life and reality. I think that you really want to be of service to your community. And I think that through this work, you can definitely start to form relationships with other people, meet new people, but most importantly, forming relationships with parts of self that maybe had remained uncultivated prior to this new work that you will be doing. And it, you know, I'm not saying that it was uncultivated out of intention, but maybe due to the circumstances of life, busyness, having a family, working, you know, just really not having the time or even, you know, to be inspired to go into these places of self. I'm seeing this cute bird here, and it kind of reminds me of the body of maybe a woodpecker. Kind of, we call what the ones that I'm thinking of are called flickers, and they kind of have, they're cute, but they have like an absurd looking mouth a little bit, or a beak, and they're like a little, they almost kind of remind me of how a fledgling is kind of ugly. They're, you know, they are very awkward and kind of loud and silly looking. They haven't grown into their bodies yet. And but these flickers are really pretty. They're kind of a mid-size woodpecker, and they have a beautiful crescent moon on their chest. But whenever I see them, they remind me of almost kind of the happiness of a robin, just kind of bouncing around, going from one place to the next. And I feel like there's a lot of happiness in this period of your life. I feel that there's that wholeness. There is that drive to continue to make use of these kinds of, downloads of knowledge and wisdom that you have been activating through the self-work, and generally just a feeling of wanting to connect with others more maybe than you have in the past. I also think, especially with this Queen of Cups, there's really this turn towards compassion and empathy, almost kind of a motherly, fatherly kind of energy. I think it would be really quite interesting if you could go into some kind of volunteer work, or maybe even paid work, but something like peer support, maybe some kind of outreach, maybe something like, helping with finding resources for people that are in kind of domestic violence situations. Volunteering at a school, or maybe spending time with elderly people. These are just some of the things that come to mind. But there are lots of ways to volunteer your time. I think mostly, though, it's just a sense of wanting to connect with others, especially people who are in a place where they want to also connect with other people. They are maybe going through some things, feeling lonely, feeling somewhat disenfranchised, wounded in some way, and having the love, support, and guidance of somebody who is healing themselves, is actively working on themselves, really might make all the difference. Okay. I want to look at this little turtle we have here, and I always think with the turtle, it's the slow and steady, right? Taking your time, going about your business with some detail, with a lasting change, not getting too hurried into anything. And I think that really it goes with this kind of idea of flowing with the water, flowing like water, being kind of flexible and patient, letting the current kind of pull the leaf along the stream, finding that middle way, and just continuing to go forward, 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 right? I just kind of want to look around. We have this enthroned person, and they kind of are pointing here at this. It almost looks like a snake that's spitting some venom. And, when I see something like this, the snake usually to me has a relationship with knowledge, okay? But there are times when people can become like snakes in our lives, especially when they are speaking untruths or gossiping, just being loose with their tongue or manipulating information. I feel like this person in this seated position, usually I would say is an enthroned archetype. So we're also looking at the Queen of Cups, also enthroned, seated in a throne. That's what enthroned means. And in this posture, this is a fulfillment of understanding, of knowledge. This is crossing from knowledge into the transmutation of wisdom, having a confidence in knowing, having done great work to get into this position, this kind of raised position of the queen or king or knight or whatever, whatever system you're looking at. And so I feel that even with somebody maybe using their words against you, maybe speaking most foully, or just, you know, gossiping, I don't think this bothers you. I think that you just kind of brush it off. I don't think it really means that much, and I think that you know, you kind of look at the situation as this person has not much else to do, and so they're going to kind of wag their tongue. And I don't think it's very much, you know, what is the word? Like, I was thinking it's sweat off your shoulder, but that's not it. It's dirt off your shoulder. But yeah, I don't think sweat off your brow. I don't know. If you know the saying, comment it. I try to use too many things. I don't remember exactly the whole thing. I kind of just have all these composite sayings. And so, yes, I don't think it's a big deal, you know. I don't know. People talk about things they don't know that much about all the time. Just to have something to say. And this might be somebody in the family, somebody at work. All right. Just kind of seeing where the stream is going here. I feel like you've had some bad dreams recently. I think maybe there's been some underlying there's just some feeling of underlying unrest, maybe in your relationship or household. It can be distressful at times. I feel that you have great love and an enormous amount of respect for your family, your loved one, your partner. But I think that at times it feels as though it's not settled, even if you've been together for a long time. And I don't, you know, I think that that can be kind of distressful, but I don't think that that is abnormal. I think it would be kind of abnormal if you just imagined you'd be together forever and ever and ever, and there's no question of, you know, things kind of changing as time goes on. I think the beauty in things not feeling fixed is that we have to do better. When we fail, when we find ourselves having trouble understanding one another, communicating, just, you know, we're overwhelmed, whatever it is, we have to find a way to do better until we choose not to. And then that's when you really have to evaluate where are things kind of going. Are you, you know, are you still in this? I feel like, you know, there are moments where you don't know what you want to do, and that's normal. But I think at the end of the day, you always do try to do better. you know, the next day. And that's good. You know, that's all we really can do. And so I think that is, it's going to be a short one, but I think that's our reading tonight. You know, sometimes I just kind of go on and on and on. And I'm going to sometimes do some shorter readings, so, you know, I don't get too off on my tangents. But I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm always so honored to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. We're growing the channel one person at a time, one subscriber at a time, and we're doing so well. And I appreciate it. I really do. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos come out. Other than that, think about leaving a comment. I love hearing from all of you. You mostly are so sweet. And I love reading your stories, the things that you share. And yeah. So I thank you so much, Aquarius. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead.